Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. If anyone in the chat can hear me, just push one. All right, I got a confirmation. Thank you for the confirmation. Welcome back to the Black Brain Trust. This is episode 426, Pan African Chat Talk. Please hit the like button as you come in, share the video if possible. Also hit that notification bell so you can get all the updates from the Black Brain Trust, including those posted on the community tab. If you want to engage in the discussion, there'll be a link in the chat for you to click on. When you click on the link, make sure you raise your hand so that one of us can acknowledge you and advance you to the panel. Tonight, we're going to talk about 10 years after the major earthquake in 2010. On January 12th, 2010, a major earthquake struck Haiti, causing massive disaster. And recently, Puerto Rico also was struck by an earthquake as well, I believe about 48 hours ago. Absolute disaster. So I think we want to have a quick discussion about what has gone on in Haiti, and kind of show our solidarity with our brothers in arms down here. So, all right, let me pull up. And shout out to Ray Alexander for selling this over. He was actually someone who kicked me via email to actually push this agenda. I had it on the docket, but did not put it down. I did not create a hangout for it. So thanks to Ray. All right, let me just get started real quick. All right, this one is from Reuters.com. Decade after Haiti's big quake, president says aid system needs overhaul. Expand this out. Port-au-Prince, the international aid system is deeply flawed and needs an overhaul. Haitian President Jovenel Moïse said on Saturday, after 10 years since the impoverished Caribbean island nation was struck by one of the deadliest earthquakes in history. International organizations pledged billions of dollars in aid after the earthquake on January 12, 2010, though its use has since come under intense scrutiny from experts. Only a fraction of it went directly to the Haitian government. Experts blame bad governance, excessive bureaucracy, waste, and inflated contracts that were given mostly to foreign companies for the lack of progress, which was hampered further by corruption and political power struggles. There is a serious problem with the methodology, Moïse told Reuters in an interview at the National Palace, during which he repeatedly criticized how donors handled aid to Haiti. Moïse, a former banana exporter who took office in 2017, said the recipient countries know their needs best and should have a greater say in how aid is spent. I agree with this. There has been no credible long-term policy as to what to do with this money, Moïse said, faulting donors in Haiti's weak institutions. It's a lot of money, and I don't know what has been done with it. Moise said, adding that the government had little say over how the money would be spent. Moise said some improvements have been made, but that more needs to be done. The 7.0 magnitude quake killed tens of thousands of people and left many more homeless. Estimates of the number of dead vary widely, from below 100,000 to as high as 316,000, the official government figure. While there is no consensus as to how much aid Haiti received from international organizations in recent years, or what really constituted aid, most estimates put the number at above $10 billion. The damage from the earthquake is still clearly visible across the capital, and even the walls and structures at the entrance of the National Palace, whose classical cupola sank. Since taking office, Moise said his administration has been working to improve collaboration not only among Haitian institutions, but also international bodies to ensure that money would be more effectively spent in the future. Moise, who himself is under pressure to resign almost 3 years into his 5-year term or to hold early elections, recognized that Haiti's most pressing problem were its weak institutions. Haiti has had 15 presidents in the past 33 years. Haiti is one of the most vulnerable countries in the world, exposed to natural disasters, including storms, floods, droughts, and earthquakes. In 2016, Hurricane Matthew devastated the island. Still reeling from the effects of natural disasters, Haiti suffers from slow economic growth, high inflation, and shortages of fuel and food. Even so, Moise said he would not hold early elections. The current situation is an opportunity to stop the permanent crisis, he said. So let me give a backstory on how I got involved in this sort of work. Advance our dear brother Zorolti, and I do a lot of social justice work on the ground, and so I organize with some other colonized people, so to speak, Puerto Ricans, which are Boricuas, Haitians, people from the continent came in support, and Palestinians. We all worked at a summit on engineering, what we call engineering disaster. And Haiti was the main topic on the table, and what happened in Haiti and what happened with MINUSTA, the African Union terrorist organization that ravaged the people of Haiti, and on top of the natural disasters that Haiti had not been responsible for. Keep in mind that Black people are not responsible for any of the natural disasters. It's the climate change that you see happening is coming from the industrialized countries out of the West. And some would argue even China. But in this perspective, the massive heat waves and things of that nature come from the industrialization, from coal fire plants and pollution from major vehicles and so on and so forth, is affecting the people in the region. And so an earthquake is like a stab through the heart for Haitian people, because they have been wronged all these years, and all of their money that should have stayed in their coffers actually went to the colonizer in France. And so we had a summit about this a couple of years ago, and that's how I got myself and my hands dirty into all of this. And so, although I'm not Haitian myself, I support Haitian people proper. And speaking of Haitian people, it's Sapa segments to Zo.
Sac passe, Mike. And also, Happy New Year, bro.
Oh yes, Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that it's been a decade since the earthquake, and everything you said about what this earthquake has done to Haiti is very true. Like it was something that basically the country was already on its knees, and this brought it even more so on its knees. I mean, it was like the camel that broke the well, it was a straw that broke the camel's back. It was a horrible situation, and the thing that's messed up is all the money that was pouring into Haiti, none of it went to rebuild the country at all.
Mhm.
So the big issue was, uh, where was all this money going? You had what's his name? I forgot his name. President Michel Martelly. He got elected. I believe it was a year after the earthquake. I think it was
Yep.
a year or two after the earthquake, and he made a whole point to get rid of the tent cities.
Mhm.
Well, so what he did was, yeah, he got rid of like some of the tent cities, but all he did was just push the people further out of the capital into these little houses, these dingy little houses on the outskirts of the capital. But the infrastructure still hasn't been rebuilt. Like even to this day, the main church in Port-au-Prince hasn't been rebuilt. Um, where my mother's from, so my mother's from Pitiguave, which is kind of close to Haiti. Their main church hasn't been rebuilt either. So it's like we still have this issue 10 years later, and where all these billions of dollars went, they went to the pockets of these NGOs and also to the pockets of the Haitian government. Michel Martelly didn't do anything to help with the recovery process. All he did was remove the tent cities, but that wasn't enough. And here we are 10 years later, the country is still suffering from the effects of it. And the crisis that you see today goes back to that because it was around at the same time when Michel Martelly was president, that's when the Petrocaribe started, because the Petrocaribe was the money that's supposed to help rebuild the country, help to bring the country out of the situation, and that never came true. And that's why the Haitian people are so enraged, because it's like they're like, it's been 9-10 years since the earthquake. What the hell is going on? Like what the hell's going on? But we all know what's going on behind the scenes, that the United States is basically profiting from Haiti's misery. And people say, well, how are they profiting from it? Well, you know, Haiti has a lot of natural resources. Haiti has gold. Haiti has fertile land. They want to keep the country weak so they can get these resources. You have Canadian, French, American companies going into Haiti trying to get the diamonds. Haiti also has oil. There's rumors that they want to drill that oil. So it's a lot that's going on behind the scenes on why the United States is so interested to keep Haiti colonized. But the earthquake was really weakened Haiti, and it opened the door for the Clintons bullshit of what they did in Haiti.
Yeah, that's a very good point, and I'm glad you elaborated so much on that stuff because um, Haiti also has something that's very rare in the West. It's called iridium. Iridium is a rare earth mineral only found in so many places on the planet. Um, Haiti has the most in the West. So a lot of people need to really understand that Haiti is sitting on lots and lots of wealth under their feet that they cannot extract from the ground because there's so much corruption at the top. But you also have European colonial powers who want to ensure that their stuff doesn't go anywhere. It sits right there, that no one else has access to it, um, not even the Haitian people.
Exactly. And so what the United States and what does the United States, France, Canada, and Germany and the UK and all these countries do is they support these corrupt elites. Most of these are Arab elites, the Arab mulatto elites and some black elites. They give them money, they empower them, and then these elites use their influence to support the different political parties in Haiti, and they use their corruption to keep these politicians in line. That's why, unfortunately, the protests, for example, the protests we see in Haiti today, some of it has been co-opted by the elite. So there's a senator, Yuri Latortu. He's a former Haitian soldier, so that means he was part of the Haitian army back in the day, which means he protected the interests of the United States. He has death squad. He was part of Haitian death squads. Then he joined the police, and then now he has his own criminal gang. But he co-opted the opposition, and he's being supported by some of the elites. So in a way, what this does is keeps Haiti weak and divided, and creates political instability that nothing can ever get done. And they also support presidents like Jovenel Moise, who himself uh, is part of the elites, because this guy, he became wealthy out of nowhere selling bananas. Like no one ever heard of him before he ran for president. All of a sudden, he he came into the scene, and he's like, "Oh, I'm this guy, this successful entrepreneur. I sold plantains and I became a millionaire." But the land that he sold his plantains apparently has been, well, this is a rumor in Haiti, is that he's used that land to grow drugs, and also he's he's part of the Duvalier Reese far right fascist party. So there's that. So the source of everything comes from the West, and the West empowers the elites in Haiti, who then you know control both all opposition, all political sides in Haiti, the opposition, whoever's in power. And and what they do is they prevent Haiti from moving forward by creating a political morass. So it's a big problem, and the earthquake made things even worse.
It exacerbated it. And a lot of people don't really realize, man, those are people who look just like us down there, just speak a different language, man. So it behoove a lot of people to, who want to run around with hashtags, right, in front of their name, man, to really understand the history behind all of this, man. Haitians in the West, man, they should be living like Dubai, like the Arabs in Dubai, man, with all the wealth they got on their feet, and they're surrounded by all types of hostile forces, man. We mentioned the European colonizers, but to their east, man, they have an oppressive state right next door to them, who can't wait, who are rubbing their hands together, who wish they could take the land from the Haitians themselves.
And the funny thing is with the Dominican Republic is the Dominicans in the Dominican Republic are being oppressed too. Like their country's wealth is being stolen from them, but
Yeah,
for whatever reason they haven't risen up against the government. That's the crazy thing. At least Haitians have a revolutionary spirit. They willing to stand up. But in the Dominican Republic, the same thing that's going on in Haiti is, I mean, to a lesser degree, it's happening in DR, because you have a government DR that is, kind of is very corrupt. But yeah, bro, you have U.S. companies, French companies going to DR, because DR also has a lot of resources, and they're just taking the resources right on the people's noses, but they haven't risen up.
yeah, absolutely, man. And the reason to your point, why haven't the Dominicanos raised up against their government is because they've been pacified, man. They live, pretty simple, man. They're okay with those little those Kia Optimas and Hyundai Sonatas coming in. As long as they can get their hands on that, man, them dudes is good, man. They passive, man.
Honda
They chilling,
Civic.
they happy. What'd you say?
No, I said the Honda Civic. People from the Northeast will know what that means.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Honda Civic with the Dominicans. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
the Toyota Tercel, man, with the
Oh,
fat wheels on it, man. They good, man. People want to talk about people being dominated, man. Go to DR, man. Them cats are sucker laid over there, man. So
that's a fact. And I was talking about it with my homeboy, because he went to DR, and he was saying like how they don't rise up, and it's basically what you said. They're living a simple life. It's pretty cheap to live in DR. They, as long as they get certain goods that come to the country, and let's be real. The women are fine, so they're blinded on what matters. So as long as they can have four different baby mamas, and then yeah, doing their own thing. The living in DR is cheap. They won't rise up, and also DR's economy is based on tourism. If that were ever to shut off, then I think you would see a change. I think that's when you would see a change.
yeah, DR has been kind of shielded from earthquakes. So Haiti itself, that portion of the island sits right on a fault. And once that fault starts to get jiggy with it, so to speak, man, they that affects them directly because they're sitting right on top of it. Whereas the Dominican Republic is kind of shied away from it, because they're not on the fault itself. Haiti is sitting right on the fault itself. So, they're riding the razor's edge for lack of a better description. Let me read this Doctors Without Borders PDF, man. Haiti, 10 years on. Oh man, this is gonna be really big. Expand this out. We kind of read this earlier, but I'm just gonna read some of the areas that I think are critical. The toll was staggering. Many thousands lay dead and injured. Millions were suddenly homeless. The island nation's infrastructure was decimated. It is estimated that 60% of the health system was destroyed, and 10% of Haiti's medical staff either lost their lives or left the country. Doctors Without Borders, which had been present in Haiti for 19 years prior to the earthquake, was not spared. 12 staff members were killed, and 2 of our 3 medical facilities collapsed. In response to the urgent and almost unlimited needs of the population, MSF mounted one of its largest ever emergency operations, treating more than 358,000 people affected by the earthquake in just 10 months. 10 years later, though most of the rubble has been cleared and new hospitals have been built, Haiti's medical system is once again on the brink of collapse amid an escalating political and economic crisis. Medical facilities struggle to provide basic services due to the lack of staff and shortages of drugs, oxygen, blood, and fuel. The international support that the country received or was pledged in the wake of the earthquake has vanished and never materialized. Media attention has turned elsewhere as daily life for most Haitians becomes increasingly precarious due to raging inflation, the lack of economic opportunities, and the regular episodes of violence. In the aftermath of the earthquake, thousands of Haitian people, most of whom were directly affected by the disaster, mobilized along the hundreds of international staff in one of MSF's largest emergency responses ever. Our already established teams of 800 staff in Port-au-Prince quickly expanded to 3,400 Haitian and international staff in 26 hospitals and dozens of mobile clinics in multiple communities. In the 10 months following the quake, MSF medical teams treated more than 358,000 people, assisted more than 15,000 births, and performed more than 16,500 surgeries. By the end of 2010, MSF donors had given more than $138 million for Haiti. Life-saving surgery. Actually, I'm not going to go through all of this because I think we're pretty well versed on what has happened and who has been helped and where some of this money has gone. But people need to understand the intricate details of this. There are political players involved in this from the West who have benefited greatly from this. Some or a certain person who ran a presidential campaign in 2016 benefited greatly and used those funds from the disaster to fund their campaign through their foundation initiative against, the Tangerine Tyrant today. And they'll tell you, I'm good for the people. Yeah, right. Why don't we ask those people down there that you took their money from and you used for your political campaign?
Yeah, that's true. And one thing is, people can say, Trump was going to win Florida, but a lot of Haitians in South Florida was not feeling what Hillary was saying, not at all. Because one thing I'll say is because in the Haitian diaspora, the Haitians in Florida are more connected to the motherland, because it's right near Haiti. It's close to there, so the ties are really really strong. So they remember everything, and they remember there was a lot of Haitian refugees who, when Obama put that whole program in, that went to Florida. So they heard the stories of what the Clintons were doing, and it was just a whole bunch of bullshit. And this is why the Democrats were very leery about answering questions on Hillary Clinton's role in Haiti, because Haitians in the United States historically have been, have been voted so solid for Democrats. But after, more and more leaks came out of what the Clintons were doing in Haiti, it was infuriating. It was infuriating. Um, so there's the political aspect of that Haitians have not forget. We still remember what the Clintons have done, and Bill Clinton still comes around with his bullshit. Yeah, we had our honeymoon in Haiti, bullshit, saying that why he cares about Haiti. But in the other hand, in what's going on, reality is that they've enriched themselves through Haiti's misery. Bill Clinton's brother, he's heavily invested in Haiti. This guy is,
Hillary's brother.
yeah,
Hillary.
yeah. Hillary's brother. I
Tony
mean,
Rodham.
yeah, this guy, man. I mean, just like shit. Like the stories that I hear from people on the ground in Haiti is like this guy. He's basically profited from Haiti's misery.
Mhm.
So there's that. And when the earthquake happened, you had Bush and Clinton. They went down there trying to show, yeah, we're there to help the people there. They were just down there, to make some money. I mean, come on, think billions of dollars. I think it was like $100 billion that
Yep.
of global donations was going to help it was going to help Haiti, and the Haitian people have not seen 1 cent of it. Where did it all go? Nobody wants to answer these questions. You know, I blame the NGOs. There's one, but also it's the government. The government got tons of money. But where did all that money went? What's
Yeah,
enriched themselves?
somebody got their palms greased. It wasn't a whole lot, but it was just enough to keep them quiet.
Yeah,
You're not putting $100 billion into a politician's pocket in Haiti, and no one knows where it is. So that didn't,
mm.
it's not like these guys are walking around like Daddy Warbucks, man. Somebody greased their palms, man, gave them a few Bitcoin, man, and told them to be quiet. But the main point here, man, is that Haitians don't have any say at all. They have no political power, no and whatnot. So it's important that we do live streams like this so that we can actually speak for them. Because if they go ignored, no one would ever know what was going on. A lot of people won't know how many how many Haitian kids have been trafficked out of Haiti through the Dominican Republic and to
Yep.
far places that we don't even know about. There's a lot of
Mm.
missing people that came out of that, man. And I wish more Haitians, in the manosphere, not just the manosphere, but even in the United States, man, really organized politically, man. When I talk to a lot of them, man, they, their parents told them these bad, spooky stories about voodoo and, the island itself. Don't go back there. There's nothing there for you. And it's like, no, man. Nah, be say put up a fight, man.
Bro, my parents are one of them people. And the reason why a lot of older Haitians have that mindset. So you have to look at the generation they grew up in. So there's a lot of nostalgia, unfortunately, of my parents' generation, the ones who were born in the '60s. They were born in the '60s. They spend the teen years in the teen years in the '70s, and then in the '80s they left Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
So for them, so their mindset was like when they were growing up in Haiti, Haiti was relatively stable, albeit it was under a brutal dictatorship, the Duvalier dictatorship. So they saw the country was safe or whatever. So now they left the they left Haiti, they moved to the United States, and then ever since 1986, they see the country deteriorate in their eyes ever since Baby Doc left. So they see what happened to the country, the crime rate skyrocketed, coup d'etats everywhere, civil unrest. So they have this mindset, oh, the country's going bad, oh, the country that I grew up with has gone bad, oh, I wish Duvalier came to power, oh, you know, they also the voodoo aspect comes from the Haitians. Older Haitians, unfortunately, are very very religious, uber religious, so they think voodoo is bad and all that. But that's a different story for another day. And They just tell you they just tell you, oh, like every Haitian kid that every Haitian American who's ever grown up in the United States always have this threat that their parents tell them, like, oh, if you act up in school, I'm gonna send you to Haiti. You know, you're gonna suffer. You're gonna eat, cornmeal and water every day. You're gonna suffer. Boom, boom. So it puts a negative imagery of Haiti on you from your parents, which is unfortunate. And on top of that, you have the media. So you have a lot of, Haitian Americans who are like, oh, I don't want to go to Haiti. What's in Haiti? Is Haiti safe? Or, oh, Haiti is Haiti's in a state of collapse, and boom, boom, boom. So the diaspora won't organize it because we have this mindset that, Haiti is a negative place. Anything that's associated with Haiti is negative. Even my mom, when my mother went to Haiti, she went to Haiti in 2016, no, 2017, because that's when my grandmother died. She went to her funeral. She was saying, oh, when I went to the countryside, oh, I don't know these people, I don't trust them. So she already went to Haiti with a negative mindset. And that's what a lot of the older Haitians have. They have this negative mindset that, oh, the country was good when we were younger. Now it's turned to shit. You can't trust these Haitians down there. It's all gangs and violence. But they don't look at what was the cause of all this. They don't they think everything is black and white. They think everything's black and white. Like, oh my God, the country was great when we were younger. Now it's turned to shit. Haiti's a mess. There's nothing that could be done. It's a horrible mindset. It's terrible. I grew up on this, Mike. Like my parents, even to this day, like I've never been to Haiti. And the reason why I've never been to Haiti was simply because my parents like, oh, if we go to Haiti, you might get kidnapped. Oh, they know that you'll speak Creole with an American accent. Boom, boom, boom. Like they sell you these scary stories, and then people from Haiti, exacerbate everything. Meanwhile, you have foreigners going to Haiti, making businesses in Haiti. You have, Chinese, going to Haiti. You have, I hear Filipinos for Filipinos going to Haiti, buying up land.
Brazilian,
Like,
Ecuadorians.
yeah, it's crazy. And so you have foreigners going to Haiti.
The price of land in Haiti is actually increasing, so it's a good investment to buy land there. Just want to say that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, my neighbor bought land. They're Haitian. Her husband, herself. They sent their Range Rover down last summer. And when they bought land, it was like $2,000 or $3,000. They said now it's up 40, 50, 60 grand.
Yeah, my workout partner, who I've been working out for the last 5-6 years, he's Haitian. Speaks Creole and everything else like that. He's taught me a little bit too, so I've actually picked a lot of it up. But the reality is that Haiti actually is got a lot of people coming in for foreign investment, and I understand. I hear what you're saying, because I want you to finish up what you're saying. But I understand why your parents have taught you to think a certain type of way, of which I don't embrace, but I understand why they have. But anyway, go ahead.
Hey, what's up, Nagon? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, my friend. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to you.
Yeah. Finish up, so and then we'll go to Jay Charles.
Yeah. So I'll make this quick point. So this negative mindset on Haiti has basically been brought on us, ever since we're younger. But then at the same time, this oxymoron, they talk about, they make us be proud of our history. Like, oh, we're the first Black Republic. We got our independence 1804. We defeated the French, Spanish, English, this and the third. We fought, we helped with America's independence. So it's kind of a weird oxymoron. Like the Haitian mindset, especially from the diasporan, is very it's very weird. It's like, on the one hand, yeah, Haiti has a lot of negatives, but then be proud of your history, and that, oh, if you have the right amount of money, you could live like a king in Haiti, but then they don't want to go to Haiti. So it's weird. But a lot of investors are going to Haiti, and if Haitians don't wake up, like, it could get really, really ugly if they don't take charge. And I'm talking about Haitians from diaspora, because we're missing a great opportunity to actually get together and fix this country. So so that's all.
I think those are great points. I think one of the biggest things that we see about Haiti and the Haitians over here is that post-colonialist mindset that many Haitians have taken on, and they took it on from France, and the country hasn't done well since having to pay back reparations and all these other kind of issues that Haitians have. And Haitians have some level of an embarrassment of their land, so they come over here and they think that they're gonna make it over here, but because Haiti has been basically ostracized by the Western world as a Caribbean power, and has been left sanctioned and so forth, mainly from the United States and others. They have an embarrassment about them, so they feel proud about Haiti, but they're embarrassed about it. And so they want you to look at Haiti as, oh, it's a great country, but get over here in the United States and make it, and hang with this white man and make it here with him here in the United States, and everything will be hunky dory. So they do have a schizophrenic type of view towards Haiti's the past and its present, because of its rather schizophrenic past, where you had, how would I say, they took on a heavy colonialist mindset after, they defeated the French, and the lighter skin and the whiter Haitians tended to be, the rulers, and the darker ones were still seen as lower caste, and they literally kind of put this on themselves by way of the French, also the French conquerors who got beat and got destroyed and got knocked out the box. They still, sanctioned Haiti and made Haiti look like an outcast of a country, and Haiti tried to get back into the graces by trying to be as much like their former conquerors as possible. And even though they defeated them and destroyed them, here they took on a colonial mindset, and that's what you really had in Haiti. And there were some very terrible, as I said, policies that were, sanctions and reparations, and all of this was pushed on Haiti, which kept it from becoming economically powerful. And they accepted a lot of that, of which I feel they shouldn't. But I think some of that was also done because the leadership that got into Haiti, those people there had, I keep saying, that colonial mindset. And then you started to have a civil war there. You had those who were trying to overthrow some of these governments, and then you had the CIA. You had so many people in there doing a lot of negative over the last 200 years, really, to keep them from rising as a power. And that has been, they've been successful with that. They've been successful with that. And as I said, I don't think the Haitian Revolution ever ended. I think it's just at another phase. But I think you had one part of the revolution, and the other half of it has not fully still taken place. And that's where I think we are with Haiti. But that colonial mindset that was taken over by the ruling classes, I think, did a very, very, very strong disservice to the to the island, and therefore left some negative influence, especially from that of the Dominican Republic, and then cutting a deal with them, then making other black slaves for, Trujillo's government and all that. It's just a lot of ill shit went on, for petty gains. And I just, that colonial mindset was terrible. Anyway, go ahead.
No, I was letting Jay Charles get in. If he has anything he wants to add from from his standpoint as a Haitian himself.
Hello?
Yeah, put some volume on the mic, brother, please.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
How about now?
We can hear you.
Peace, brothers. Peace. Pretty much, I do agree with what Zoe was explaining as far as the disconnect with the older generations and the younger generations about Haiti. Like, I experienced that as well, where my father was talking about the glory days of how he was growing up, and everything was cheap, nobody was suffering, life was good, they were prosperous and whatnot. And then he also tells the bad side of about like, about like pretty much, what would happen to you if you go there or whatnot. I went there when I was 13, first time I went to Haiti, and overall I had a great experience. It was fun. But but I think that's right. A lot of Haitians that's in my age bracket and younger, do hear these horror stories, all these bad things that happen to you. And I think that's kind of like isolated in one certain particular area, not everywhere. But I guess it just need a reset on that, kind of when it comes to that. And then to what Nagon was saying, right? I think he's 100% accurate, and he hit it nail on the head, because I think the issue is that we fought for our freedom, right? And we head on to our culture. And I think once we did, we're able to defeat certain countries, what got lost is that you had a certain sector that wanted to continue the culture and keep that culture going. and held on to that culture, and they had others who wanted to change it, right, and become more like, I guess, a colonialist. So I think as far as that, what's going to be the thing for Haiti right now? Because okay, Haiti's bad, right? There's a lot of issues, but I think what's going to really correct things is, number one, is a cultural reset, right? And a sense of something that we can find our find pride in, especially our rich history and our rich culture. But I think a lot of people don't really know about that. And then the second thing is bridging that, removing that disconnect as far as that the older generations created. And a good way to do that is just to kind of promote traveling to Haiti. Obviously Haiti right now in certain sectors is pretty bad, but there are certain parts that is absolutely beautiful, right? And so I think that's an issue. But overall, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think Haiti has been going through a lot of issues, and I understand that. But I think what it needs is that we need to create a 100-year or 200-year plan. There was no plan. They fought for their freedom. They got to the height, prosperity, and then they just kind of like just laid back and just chilled, right? And I think that's what was the problem. They didn't have a 200, 300, 400-year plan. They just kind of just fell back. So
I think bad policies came out. I really feel what really hurt Haiti more than anything else, I think it was the reparations.
Yep.
I think those reparations, I think Haiti should have never, I said, fuck it. Everybody get back up on the deserts again, and back on the sands again, wait for these somebodies to come through and start popping off heads one more again. Shouldn't have paid them fucking reparations. Yep. Shouldn't have paid them. You wax that frog ass, all right? And then at the end of the day, you put your own guillotine on those some bitches on the goddamn freak in Port-au-Prince. What the fuck are you paying these guys more reparations for? You see, that was a big part, in my view, was the big issue. And I think some of the leadership there in Haiti sold out. And I think that was a big part of the problem. I was too high a price. I mean, the goddamn Germans, after the First World War, decided, Treaty of Versailles, we ain't paying these reparations anymore. And they went back to war again. All right, mm-hmm. which wasn't within their favor the way they actually could have won the Second World War had they handled it differently. But we saw what happened. That caused the Second World War. So I think it was the Haitian reparations that were just too heavy for them to pay, that kept them impoverished, and they shouldn't have done that. And I think they should have cut other deals with other nations. They should have been much stronger I believe they should have been much stronger with some other countries like China, like Russia, and so forth, and played the game like the Cubans did. Not so much to be exactly like them, but be functional and be multivariate and really and keep a heavy armed force there, which I believe could have dealt in an area that have been very difficult to deal with. But I think we could have had more of a Paris in the Caribbean than what we've seen, because Napoleon and them said, listen, man, you all tore us out the frame, but y'all gonna starve after doing this. And I think Europe, even though they had a lot of power, they still could have been forwarded. Their power could have been forwarded, because there were a lot of things going on in this area where I believe the Black Haitian power base could have actually played a very key role in settling some very key issues here in the West, of which I think those opportunities were lost because of some of that. So and people can debate this deeply, and I'm very familiar with the history that's gone on there, but I'm just trying to quick thumbnail sketch over that history. I feel as though that the reparations were the biggest issue, and that I think caused a lot of problems that we see here right now, and that the Haitian Revolution that started or basically ended in 1804 was the starting base. And we should have a 200 to 300 year plan. And right now, Haiti should have a good 150-year plan now to really move well into the 21st and become a very powerful force in the 22nd and mid 22nd century. That's where I think things should be. How people should be planning for this nation, because they have been integral in much of the development of the West, and certainly the United States as well. And great history, but I think a lot has been lost. But it's not over yet, and that's how I feel.
Let's discuss this, all right? So, okay, at that time they placed it. They try to place the reparations on the Haitians, right? But again, the main form of export was sugar, and who was running that? You know, the French. So I think what happened was, okay, yeah, they had amounts of wealth, but who gonna do business with them at a time where they kind of their people they do business with don't want to deal with them? So who are they going to sell the sugar
Well,
to?
I think people were ready to deal with them. What people were feeling was they were fearful of dealing with them because they thought, oh, the French would come down on them. And what they should have said, these guys are a fucking sucker. We wax that ass. And we're going to freaking bring our stuff in here. And we're going to run as hard as we can. And if they try to play with us again, we're going to wax that ass. We're going to keep fighting. People would have been like, oh, shit. And better yet, we're going to come in with better sugar prices than anybody else can. We're going to undercut you motherfuckers. We're going to roll a stone cold G out. We gangsters. And that's how we going to run. That's the only thing these motherfuckers respect. And to me, that was the game that they should have run. Because I'd have been slapping these things with my dick. I had my dick in their face and not thinking twice about it. Because you had nothing else to do. Now you got your kids starving. You got your nation poured out. Fuck that. Bang out. Bang out. You did it once. You continue to do it. All right. And the European nations were already willing to deal with them. They were down there fucking all their goddamn freaking daughters and shit. The princesses were coming down there on boats, get Toussaint Louverture on bowing them up, but fucking putting them in doggy style and all that kind of live ass gangster shit. They were ready to deal. They were ready to go. You had to press that forward.
So you think they didn't see the opportunity that was available as far as with the sugar? Do you think that's what the issue? Because
I think it
was there.
I think they saw the opportunity, but I think others were paid off to play out. That's that's actually what I believe. I believe you had others who actually sold out. That's what I believe happened. And then you started to have some rich families, and then everybody else was poor, and they played that game. They got in line and played the colonialist game, which was not within their interest. That's what I believe really happened there.
Go ahead, Jay Charles.
That's my take on it. Now I could be wrong. There may be those who may disagree, but I've certainly read others like Dr. Horn and a few others who've actually sat down and totally agree with that move.
Well, the issue so if we can go back at that time, we have to remember who ran the country at the time for the it was a mulatto guy, a Boyer. He was a mulatto.
Yep. And what did he bring in? What did he bring in? What kind of attitude did he bring in? That's key right there. What kind of attitude did he bring in?
So his attitude was more of like, let's acquiesce, because we have to remember this, and I know this is going to make a lot of mulatto Haitians, if they're listening, butthurt, but a lot of the mulattoes were not invested as much into the country. We have to remember. So around the time, yes. So the issue was when the revolution was going on, the mulattoes were on the side of the French because the French sold them a dream like, hey, listen, if you join us, you're going to be in charge of these Negroes. And the mulattoes are, hell yeah, we because they were ashamed of their African ancestry, because most of these mulattoes, most of them, the mothers were slaves, and then the fathers were, the plantation owner, and then he raped their mother. So they were ashamed of that, of their African ancestry. And on top of that, the French fathers send their sons to be educated in France. So these guys were like, yo, look at this European culture, boom, boom, boom. This is superior to African culture. So they never were sold into Haiti directly. The only reason why they joined the revolution was because Rochambeau, the general, killed a lot of mulattoes, because he hated mulattoes more than he hated blacks. He was an uber racist. He thought mulattoes were freaks of nature, because he could never imagine, a black and black person, white person laid down, have sex, and then have a mulatto child. He thought that was a freak of nature, so he hated them more. So
well, he was more worried that the mulattoes would actually link up and run close with the whites and start to pull that more in from where he thought that was going to be a very key branch from black to white. He thought that was a problem for them, not only politically but economically and socially. He had a whole lot of issues about that. Thought the mulatto was a bridge, and that's what he didn't want. All right, he thought that was a bridge. All right, now my view. Now I'm totally with your understanding, but you have to understand there were a lot of key conflicts that were going on during that period. Because people say, well, you had warships going there in 1925 and all that. The French had to play it. I mean, excuse me, the Haitians could have played things very intelligently politically, because you had a lot of issues between France, Spain, Germany, Even though these guys were playing, it was all about money. The French, if these guys had developed somewhat of a military force of which they could have easily developed, they could have played one side on the other because everybody was trying to fight for land. And we said, listen, we're here, we won, we beat the French. We could play a certain role with you guys to keep the French further off of Hispaniola and get them out of the region totally together if you will work with us in an XYZ type of way. See, to me, I don't think they played this thing politically enough and played the political brinksmanship game. I think they laid back and decided to say, well, we've got a lot of people around us and maybe we should just kind of sit back here and play it a certain way, which was not going to ever work in their favor. All right. Their game was they were going to have to devise strategies. It was to survive and prevail and utilize various or temporary, what I would consider, or temporal types of alliances to further enrich their empire. And I would have been bringing a lot of other people over into this conflagration to make this thing a lot hotter. All right, where they would have been forced to make certain kind of moves. I would have played the French and the Spanish game a lot harder. Okay, I would have rolled with the English on that. All right, I would have been cutting deals with others across the sea, like the Chinese, like some of the other nations moving towards East Africa. I would have played it a whole lot differently. These guys laid back. They laid back and thought, okay, manifest destiny, United States is just going to crush us and play a certain kind of game. Well, we see, certainly with Vietnam and other countries who've dealt with some heavy warfare, but they were able to actually beat back rather severe forces, just like the French did, just like the Haitians did with the French. And what happened with the French, they were heavily extended in all kinds of wars, and they couldn't keep that going. The French, the Haitians should have just looked at that and said, okay, the French are way overextended. They can't do X, Y, and Z. Let's further increase that situation and join up with some other countries that might want to crush the French at that stage and get us from underneath these reparations. See, my view, that's the game that they needed to really play. And that's something that I feel politically they didn't. And there was going to be a military force. Of course, they were going to have to fight a little bit more. Unfortunately, that's what they were going to have to do. Just because of the nature of what happened there. They were going to have to fight more. They definitely were. I think they should have played a slightly different game with the Dominican Republic and played the Spanish a little differently. There are a lot of things I think that could have happened, but I think that, quite frankly, they didn't take advantage of some of the opportunities that they had. I understand some of why that was, but knowing that they were not going to get an even deal just by sitting back here and paying reparations to these guys, they were going to make them wealthy that way. No, I think you have to fight your way out of it. I think you will have to play a hardcore gangster type game. I think you're going to have to be, you're going to have to play gangster. And that was the only option open to them. And I think that would have worked. That's my opinion. And forging other types of alliances. They had to forge alliances there, of which I feel that they didn't. I think they adopted a lot of the French colonial mindset. I feel that was a big problem with them. And I still think that has existed, and that's got to end. That's got to end. Now, I know what I'm saying is tough because I knew, my parents were friends with Dr. Michel and some of these other guys who were Haitians, very wealthy here, who sold and was selling arms and basically trying to raise money to keep the revolution going there in Haiti. When I say recently, well up into the 60s and 70s, to topple certain governments and so forth. Let's just put it like that. So we know people who were deeply involved in this. Haitians here, wealthy Haitians, who did not accept what was going on in the island. They were friends of my parents. So I'm just saying, that's just my take on it. You had to play of a more political, military type of move, which I think would have been more successful later on down the line than what has happened. It's the only way you're going to get any money, power here. You're going to have to play a very sophisticated game. I think the Cubans played it very well in the end, and I think people they played it very well. They played it extraordinarily well.
Hey, let's hear from Jay Charles. He's been waiting.
But anyway, that's it.
No. I think you hit it right in the head, and I I'm in my 30s, right? And I speak to a lot of Haitians, especially older Haitian men, and none of them never want to take. This is one thing they don't do is take personal accountability for their country. Like, right? See, we
Yep.
made bad decisions after we fought for our liberation. We didn't leverage that correctly, right? But they never discuss that. A lot of people don't discuss that. They discuss their heydays, but don't discuss where the mistakes were. And I think that again, it goes back to what you said originally when I first came on was, it was a cultural divide where you had those who hold on to their culture. But I think the issue was is that you had those who want to bring a new culture in, but the issue was is that we didn't have anybody who were, um, I guess, butterlay enough to leverage that. We had a lot of military strategists, but not anybody who geopolitical, like geopolitical enough to how to deal with other countries and on a business level and globally, right? We didn't have anybody. I don't think there was anybody at that level. I think that's where a lot of these educated mulattoes came in. So that's the issue. I think you hit it on the head. That's you're 100% accurate. I think we didn't leverage that correctly. But I take that as a learning lesson. Like, okay, how could we learn from that now, right? And I think it's very important. Even to what Complex speaks on a lot, about global. You got to be global, right? I think what we do is we focus so much on ourselves here, but we have to build alliances with other people in other countries, and that's where the true power comes in. So, yeah.
That's what I really believe. I believe the time was right there. We had also the ability to put a lot of heat on the United States during that period, believe it or not, because we would not have gotten the Louisiana Purchase, which increased our land mass here in this country 20% without firing one shot, because they had to sell because of Napoleon's fuck ups, and they sold for $5 million. And that helped him to ultimately, that helped him on his way up to his Waterloo and then his banishment to St. Elba, if you will, St. Helena, Helena, where he laid down his sceptre. But at the end of the day, that was his destruction. And we should have played that, and we could have played even a more critical role in ending slavery here earlier. That could have actually happened as well, because people knew that slavery was coming to an end after the Haitian Revolution. And they were fearful about it. Haitian rebels were coming over here to the United States and involving themselves in slave revolts that nobody talks about. The game that they played, Haiti was getting ready to slap everybody in the mouth with their dick. And they had it. They got a big 12-incher at that time. They could have played it even a lot harder than they did. I feel they should have pressed it hard. Pressed it a lot harder. Okay, and we could have made America play a certain type of role, because England, France, everybody was trying to get into the Civil War. All right, during that period. All right, and the French in that West African island that was now free, slaves, was signaling the death knell. These guys might have been forced into doing a deal and shutting some of this down. See, that's the kind of power that Haiti actually did have, I believe, by doing that. The political, military brinksmanship, in my view, was not played at the level that it needs to be played at for various reasons. I understand why some of that was done, but when you start to look deep into the history, the African and the Frenchmen, the Black Frenchmen, the Black Jacobins, who sat back and put all kind of pressure on the French and had these guys knuckling up inside of France as well. There was a lot of issues going there. Haiti had a lot more juice than a lot of people wanted to think about. That's what terrified most of them. And so when they saw they didn't move a certain type of way, then they decided to come down on them even harder, which I think the French really, the French are sucker laid, and the Haitians saw it, and they saw that a lot of these Europeans were actually sucker laid as well, and they could have pushed harder, and they didn't. And I know some people were paid off, and others were playing a certain type of game, but I think some opportunities were lost. That's all I have to say about that as of right now, and I'll just leave it there.
So I'll make this quick point. Haiti kind of almost leveraged their military power, but it was at a time when Haiti was divided. So this was before the reparations happened, and this was after the independence. So Haiti was divided into two. So the north was ruled by Henry Christophe, who was black in the South, who was ruled by Alexander Petron, who was mulatto. But so Henry Christophe, he ruled the North. He actually made business deals with the British. You know, he's selling them sugar in
Yep.
exchange. So in exchange for not starting a slave revolt in Jamaica, because you know
Yep. They were losing. Excellent point. Good. Go ahead.
So they were getting scared. But what happened was that was short lived because the North and South went to civil war. Henri Christophe, he lost the civil war. There was an uprising. He got overthrown. Then Petron took over, and then that's when the mulattoes took over. That civil war solidified the control of the mulattoes because after Petron passed away, Boyer, the other mulatto, took over, and that's when he agreed with the reparations. And someone in the comments said that, you know, Haiti had little choice because they were isolated from the outside world. No, what they could have done was they could have fought again. There was a lot of black Haitians who wanted to fight.
Absolutely, and they know it. Okay, bro, you kicking it. Go ahead.
There was a lot of them who wanted to fight, but Boyer was like, no. He was like, stand down, and that led to a revolt from the black planters.
That's right.
Into South, and that led to another civil war. So there was that. And that civil war is the reason why the Dominican Republic got freed, because Haiti got distracted with the civil war, Dominican Republic independence. And so you see how there was a domino effect. So I point to everything, you know, I don't want to, you know, bash the mulattoes because I have mulattoes in my families, whatever, but they were never invested into Haiti. They never were. They agreed to anything what the French said simply because in their minds, they never had resentment towards the French. For them, it was just a little misunderstanding. It was a family dispute. Yeah, we joined the blacks against you.
Admitted they should have never been in power. Toussaint and them, he went out. They were not like Toussaint and his crew. They should have never been in power. That was the big piece, and they cut a lot of their opportunities off. They had opportunities to do a lot of things, and they didn't because of that. And then they hit their ass with freaking reparations later on, which they couldn't pay, which impoverished you.
And the funny thing about the reparations, it didn't affect the mulattoes. It affected the blacks. The blacks.
Well, who was getting taxed on it? Who was getting taxed to pay that? The wealthy were taking whatever they had. Who was getting taxed on that?
Yeah.
So the peasantry could not rise. They were saddled with huge debts that they did, that they should have never had to pay. Never pay the French for what? For me cutting you off your fucking great granddaddy's head? I gotta pay for that shit, motherfucker. I'll dig that dome up and fucking and then skull bang it. The fuck out of here. What are you talking about? Pay you? I got something to pay you, all right. See, that's the attitude that they should have had. They should have been gangsters, but they weren't. The old cats were. Them yellow niggas who got in there, they fucked it all up.
Yeah, they did. And I see another comment said, like, you know, Haiti didn't have a feasible navy. Yeah, but at the same time, the French would have to send ground troops in. Like the threat was not a blockade. The French was, if you don't pay these reparations, we're going to reinvade you again. Like they were going to.
And they should have said, come on with it. We're ready for it.
Yeah.
And just waited for half of their troops just to come walking up on the island and then bang them out and ride them back into the sea, just like they did it. Sun Tzu talked about doing. That was a Sun Tzu type of tactic that these guys automatically used over 2,500 years ago. They could have never got up in there. And they couldn't have gotten up into the mountains. They couldn't have got up in there. They could have got torn out the frame. And then they could have gone out there and taken their ships and done a lot of other things. Fuck them frogs. They were sucker late. And see, that was a problem that they let these guys get off when they shouldn't have. That's it. We can talk about it now. It's all in the past, but I thoroughly believe when I look at it now, if I was a military strategist getting in there, these guys wouldn't have left in 6 weeks.
So what year? I can't even look it up. But what year was the reparations implemented? What year was that?
I think it was 1825. I think it was 1825 or 26. So it was
basically
like 20 years.
Like it was like basically 19 years after independence. So
okay.
And it took them about 122, 123 years, ultimately, of payments. 120 fucking 3 years of paying these fucking savages? No.
But the key thing is what we can learn from this is how to leverage, because we're living in a new multipolar world. You know, the United States is declining, and Russia, China's rising, Russia's China. We see what the Chinese are doing in Africa. I mean, people can say, well, the Chinese have saddled these countries with debt, but whatever. But when you look at these countries in Africa, like Tanzania, Rwanda, the Chinese come in, they don't care about your politics. They just want to make money. It's business. You got to do what you got to do. We're living in an opportune time, and Haitians have to take this opportunity that we're living in a multipolar world. The United States is declining. So this is an opportunity where we can reach out, make deals. We can go to the China and say, hey, we got, like when Mike was saying, we got iridium, we got gold, we got this, we got that. You want that, right? So, all right. So let's make a business deal right now. We want infrastructure. This is our 10-year, 15-year, 20-year plan on what you can do for us and what we can do for you. So that's the lesson we can learn. So we can talk about the past, however, but the lessons we can learn is we're living in an opportune time. The United States is declining.
Yeah.
Multipolarity is on the rise. So this is a perfect time to jump on this.
I mean, I totally agree. My passions towards it, I just get angry when I think about it too. So I know I drop F-bombs and some nasty stuff, but I meant every word of it. And as far as I'm concerned, these guys should have never gotten up. Once these guys got torn out the frame, they should have never gotten it, because Haiti, in my view, could have played even a stronger role than Cuba. And people don't understand. Haiti played a role in freeing Black people here in the United States as well. These were Blacks of the diaspora getting down. Okay. French Haitian rebels were fighting in slave revolts here in the United States. People are not aware of that. They don't even talk about it in history. Why? Why? I want you to know that. Why? So anyway.
I agree. It's a very opportunistic time right now for the Haitian people. But I don't think leveraging the resources is a great idea, but I think there's so many people got their hands in it right now. So I think your best form of doing it is going to be your human capital, right? And I think a great time. I was thinking about this today. Look at like a country like India, right? They're leveraging, again with IT, certain things like that. They're leveraging that. So what can we do? I think coding might be a way to just teaching people how to code, especially the younger generation as they grow. We can make Haiti a powerhouse as far as just with coding, and then you can really leverage, from there. But that has to be a game plan. I guess a 150-year game plan where we can kind of just take over and just master a certain part of technology. And it just like you look at India, like why can't it be like that in Haiti? It should be the same thing. I don't think it's gonna be more resources because too many people have hands in that cookie jar right now. So I think the best form is just human capital.
Yeah, because and also J. Charles, we have to understand, like, there's a lot of successful Haitians in diaspora. I'm in the diaspora. We have a lot of Haitian doctors, a lot of Haitian, folks who are successful. So we have the capital. We have the human capital, and the thing is, people can say all they want about Haiti or whatever, but Haitians value education. Like, you have kids in Haiti who. You hear the stories, J. Charles, what Haitian parents always say, like, oh, Haitian kids, if they came to America, they would, if they had the opportunities you guys had, they would get straight A's, they would get scholarships, which is true. A lot of them, when they come over here, they come over here. School here in America is easy for them while we slack off over here. But the thing is, these kids have a hunger for education. It's like, there's a lot of human capital in Haiti that's untapped. If you give these kids a chance, Haiti could change within a generation. I bet you this.
I agree.
Without a doubt, because it's like I said, most of the Haitians I know, people I went to school with, the Gardere family and all of them that I went to school with. Okay, very, I'm sure you guys have heard of the Gardere, and they're here as well. Many of them very wealthy doctors and everything else like that. Many of them, Dr. Michelle and all them, very, very wealthy people that we knew, very much in the medical field and so forth. Very talented people, Haitians, very, very, very talented. So to really get that island together, that's what they're afraid of. That's what they've always been afraid of. They knew that that place ever had a chance to sit back and really develop on its own. It's over. It's over. They'd have been stronger than Cuba, far stronger. The Port-au-Prince, and that would have been the Gay Paris of the Caribbean. and that's what they didn't want, and unfortunately, some of the leadership played into their hands. But yeah, absolutely, Haiti's a very talented. It's got a lot of talented people there, and if it has the opportunity to really develop and have the right proper leadership, that's one of the big things. CIA and these other agencies have been there trying to control the leadership there. So you have these despotic folks who've been in there for such a long time, running shit ass backwards for themselves. That's been a big problem as well. But if Haiti ever did have the opportunity to really develop properly, it's over, man. It's game over. It's game over.
Yeah, and that's the thing is all the problems in Haiti starts with the political issues, which is just I explained to Mike earlier in this this episode is that it's the elites, and also the United States. The United States and France and Canada, they support the elites who are in Haiti, which are the Arabs. Every Caribbean country have these Arabs and Indians that came over, and they control the businesses or whatever. The Arabs linked up with the mulattoes and some wealthy blacks, and they created this clique, and this clique supports any.
Well, they call them the Syrians, which were the Syrians. That's who they were.
Yep, the Syrians. They linked up with the mulattoes, and they support anyone who's in power. They supported Duvalier, and then when the people rose up against Duvalier, they supported the opposition. They supported Aristide, and then when Aristide was acting a little too militant and too pro-black, they got rid of him. Then they played this game. This is the sickening part. For me, the best way to fix Haiti is there has to be a revolution or something that has to kick these elites out. Let them
see. That was the second phase of the Haitian Revolution that didn't happen. That's why I say people talk about the Haitian Revolution. It never ended. It's not over. It's not over. This revolution is not over. That was just one phase of it. Now there's a second phase. That revolution is not over. Just because it was 150, 100 and damn near 200 years ago when this happened, people say, well, that's a long time. It's over. No, that's not how things work in humanity. Things take maybe centuries, maybe a millennia to play out. Okay, and that's what we're dealing with right here. That revolution is not over. It's only half done. It's half done. Yeah, the mulatto game. Like we call them the yellow niggas. They came up in there and they was some bullshit. And now they've got to go, and now this next phase has to happen, which there will be some violence as well. But at the end of that, if you can come out of this thing with a whole skin and everyone looking at this nation as a real nation and not playing some colonial type of mindset, and blacks of the diaspora getting involved and investing in that, that's a power. It's game over, and that's what these guys are worried about. That's what the ruling elites here, who are starting to wane and are losing power and understand white supremacy is done with the rise of China and so forth. This is what they're afraid of in their own hemisphere. They understand that Haiti, in so many respects, would be a key hub and a spoke out of that. African Americans would be a very powerful addendum to this. But yes, that nation has got to rise at some point in time. And if black people are going to improve our condition in the West, Haiti is going to be a key player in this. Key.
All right, I think this is a good spot to end it. Thank you all for joining us. Please hit the like button if you've not already done so. Share the video if possible. Also hit that notification bell so you get all the updates from the Black Brain Trust, including those posted on the community tab. Actually, I should put the docket in the description beneath the video. Once this ends, it should be there. Shalom to the Haitian people and shalom to everyone else.
Merci beaucoup.